Binge Stories presents A Calculated Move. Part 1. They say, revenge is a dish, best served cold. But I think betrayal may be colder. There are a few people that I have trusted in life, and growing up with a mother that was emotionally unavailable and a father that was busy chasing her really sealed the deal on that from my youth. I met Hannah when I was 28 years old while finishing my degree in advertising. She turned out to be the love of my life and the only person that made me feel safe. When I first secured my job at a fairly small advertising firm, I felt like an outcast due to it being family-owned and operated. But after years of hard work, late nights, and building a close relationships with the owners, I felt like a part of the family. Holiday dinners, graduations, and office parties became regular events I shared with them. And 7 years later, as the firm had grown, I had even managed to climb the ladder in line for the newly created position, head of exclusive client branding. Life was on track in a great way. Hannah and I even started discussing having children. I always wanted to offer Hannah the opportunity to stay at home, at least for a few years, to focus on raising the children, and this would afford me that opportunity. One day, my boss called an unexpected meeting in the middle of the day. As we all gathered around, he introduced our new colleague. The room fell silent initially, as we were not aware they would be adding anyone to the team, but it was a strong indication that we were growing, and that a newcomer meant it was time for someone to move up. Craig was starting as a marketing associate and would be learning the ropes from us more senior creative strategist. Craig quickly settled in with a vibrant personality, lots of good questions, and a willingness to help. "I think I like the new guy, Craig," I told Hannah. "He seems like a good addition to the team." She responded, "Well, good, honey. It's nice to meet new people, especially nice ones." She kissed me and turned over on her side away from me. I had a feeling something was off. "You doing okay, Hannah?" She turned back to look at me. "Yes. I'm just worried about us having children. I'm getting older, and I've always told you I wanted a big family. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen." I noticed the disappointment in Hannah's face and assured her that this promotion would happen soon. I would not only be ready to start building a family, but would have more time to do so. My own team, more time off, and larger pay would be the luxuries we needed. Hannah kissed me again and turned back over. The next morning when I got up for work, she was already gone. I knew she was upset at me. Over the next few weeks, the firm secured an advertising deal with a major brand shoe company. I flew into my boss's office, begging for the opportunity to help lead the team on this one. After some convincing, he agreed. "I'm trusting you. You got 90 days, he echoed down the hall, as I raced to my desk to brainstorm ideas. I worked day and night for 3 weeks on this project, researching, calling, conducting surveys, holding team meetings, and Craig was always by my side. Whether it was assisting with focus groups or taking on the grunt work of making sure we had Chinese food at midnight, he was there with me. We started to talk more about our personal lives. I shared with him my issues with Hannah. I stressed to him I really needed that promotion to give her the life she deserved, and this had been placing a strain on our relationship. And he constantly reminded me I was lucky to have someone to share life with. As he was alone in the city, we started celebrating the end of long nights at the bar downstairs, drinking, laughing, and just settling in. 2 months later, I was calling him my friend. One night after arriving home, Hannah reminded me of her parents' and cousins' arrival to town in a few days. "Make sure you are not late. Pick up the cake from the bakery and invite your friend Craig over to eat with us. My friend Carla will be here, and she's single." I looked at her from my corner. I'm not sure. I muddled under my breath. "We have a project due in a week, Hannah, and I wouldn't want to mix business and pleasure quite yet." Truth is, I had never invited a stranger to our home. I didn't have close friends, and it felt like an invasion to open my home to someone so soon. Hannah convinced me over the next few days, and I decided to take a chance. Gotta trust your friends, I thought. The night of the dinner, Craig arrived early, brought a bottle of wine and one of apple cider. I was just arriving home myself with the cake and met him at the door. "Welcome, make yourself at home." I should have swallowed those words. Hannah was all too excited to introduce Craig to her family and her friends as my friend. Craig worked his magic, lighting up the room with compliments, offering help wherever he could find, and sparking interesting conversation. Perhaps I had worried too much. As we waited for dinner to be served, Craig inquired pleasantly with my in-laws about their lives and their other children. He awkwardly found out that Hannah was an only child, but not by choice. "Only child," he said. "Well, from the looks of it, you won't have to worry about that with Hannah. She seems like she'll make a great mother to quite a few grandchildren for you." I quickly shot Craig a daggerly stare. Maybe he was just being nice, I thought. I finished helping Hannah serve the drinks. Her mother responded with more intent. "We definitely do hope so." I saw Hannah's face turn sore as she got ready to sit. Craig was poking at a hurt bear. "Oh, Hannah," Craig said. "I brought you cider so you don't have to drink the wine. I heard it was good to stop drinking as you're preparing to conceive." Hannah looked at me with anger in her eyes. I could tell she wanted me to, but so I did. I interrupted with, "Our team have been working hard on this pitch. Lots of long nights, and I feel that this is really going to be a hit with our client. Next week is the big pitch, and I'm excited." Craig butted in. "Yes, it has been quite a ride working on my first project at the job. You know, with the new promotions coming up and everything, I'm really glad that these long nights have become familiar. Looks like we will have a lot more of them coming." "What are you talking about?" I asked Craig. He proudly exclaimed, "I heard the bosses talking, and they mentioned the new position would be the hands-on lead of these types of projects and travel frequently to meet clients for a more personalized experience. But don't worry, you're a shoo-in for this opportunity. I think they mentioned your name from what I could hear from my desk." With that news, Hannah excused herself and walked into the kitchen. Her cousin and friend followed her. "What the hell are you doing, Craig? You know, that's not true. That job is secured at the office and long hours are not a part of that role." Craig shrugged his shoulders and apologized. Dinner was awkward when Hannah returned. We rushed through the meal, eager to clear the house of unnecessary guests. "Let me talk to Hannah," Craig offered. I declined, but he insisted in an effort to smooth things over. The tension in the room was thick. I figured his charm could turn things around. He stepped into the kitchen to help Hannah with dessert, and Hannah never returned. I grew suspicious and went to check on Hannah. She was in the bedroom packing a bag. "I'm spending a night at Carla's, and my family is going with me." I couldn't figure out what happened. I begged her to tell me, and she just sobbed as she packed. I ran out to confront Craig, and he was gone. I called and no answer. Damn it, I had no idea where he lived. I called my boss and attempted to oddly explain why I needed Craig's address. You know, I can't do that. Even though we're like family, I can't break privacy. I threw my phone across the room as Hannah and her family slammed the door, leaving.